Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara. Gurudeva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanyatrambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 26th of November 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan, residing in the Hridaya Akash, in the heart of every single being. We are continuing to examine Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti in connection to higher consciousness, liberated living, and Prema Bhakti as we're continuing this journey forward. To continue from yesterday, we looked at how the attachment structure develops and why it is necessary in life. So we looked at that. You can listen to yesterday's recording on that. I'll be loading it a little bit later today. The development of the I, the me, and mine. We looked at the mother-child relationship, or parents and children, how that relationship grows and develops. The key point that we were looking at yesterday is where an individual internalizes the external person into one's identity. And when we do that, that causes pain and suffering. If we don't do that, then there's love, continuous, unbroken love. But when our ego internalizes other people, family members, friends, pets, whatever, politicians, actors, actresses, whatever it might be, once it internalizes it inside, then that becomes part of one's identity. Although one knows it is not once part of one's identity, it is connected deeply into the psychological identity, and that is what causes mamatva. Mamatva meaning that feeling, that oneness with the individual, the feeling of oneness with another person, and that is mamatva, and that's a block. The moment we feel oneness with anybody except Narayana, except Paramatma, Bhagwan, that is Maya. Now we'll say, wait a minute, how can we live like that? In fact, living like that is actually living. It's really living in the best way. Living with internalized entanglements with other people, places, circumstances, situations, likes, dislikes. When we internalize this, we're creating blockages inside. It happens even with like natural places. For a simple example, like where I am here in Newark, Delaware, we have many parks here. Plus we have Longwood Gardens, we have other places. Let's say I go to 5 different parks. Lum's Pond is there, then Creekside State Park is there. So many are there. So I can go there, enjoy and experience them. But I like this, I don't like this. Aham, mamatva, rag, dvesh. All this thing happens even in natural settings. Something I didn't like here, so I've internalized the experience rather than experiences remaining in memory without internalization. This is the general principle, to allow our life to experience, because life is all anubhav only, but not to internalize inside the personality structure, not to do that at all. That is vairagya. That is Jnana and Vairagya combined. And that is illumination. That is called Prakāśa Śakti in Vedanta. Vedanta mein isko Prakāśa Śakti kehte. Most people have probably not heard of these things this way. I would be surprised if anybody has heard about these things this way. Simply because we have not looked at our lives in this for what it really is. We've internalized. And that shows up then at nighttime, at dreams. What shows up at nighttime is most of the stuff that is internalized. Right? So the memory structure holds anubhav. Sachin goes to a park, that's in the memory. Sachin has parents, that is in memory. The me and mine functionally have developed, fine, that's there. We have all kinds of memories. The entire storehouse of memory, chitta, chitta, is going to remain. That will remain. But that storehouse of memory isn't really who we are. And that storehouse of memory is utilized as a reflection for our own psychological identity. This is why J. Krishnamurti stated in relationship is a mirror in which we can see ourselves. So we have to have memories, we have to have interactions. But at the same time, that line between interactive love versus internalized entanglement, there's a line there. And once we internalize anybody, particularly family members, we're finished. That you cannot realize God. It's impossible. भगवान का झांकी गुजराती में भगवान ने झांकी पर नहीं था. Glimpse भी नहीं होगा आत्मा परमात्मा का. Internalize any family member. Because that creates a blockage inside. Constantly that blockage is there. Don't internalize. Love. Prem karo. Bring them into memory with love and affection, and don't bring anybody into the identity. Kitni difficult baat hai. Sunaye, have anybody heard this before? How difficult it is. Difficult, somebody might say it's impossible. It's next to impossible. It is next to impossible unless we are clear. Jnana Shakti is clear that this is a blockage I'm creating. It's not helping the other person, it's not helping me, it's not helping anybody. You know the Charitra of Bhagwan Ramchandra ji, Sita ji and Hanuman ji. Sita ji is pleased with Hanuman ji after the coronation happens in Ramayana. And she wants to give Hanuman ji jewels. So he says, I don't need all this thing. So then he opens his chest and inside his heart is Ram and Sita. Ye kya hai? He's internalized Bhagwan Ram. He did his duty. This is Hanumat Charitra. Hanuman ji ka charitra hai. He does everything in the sansar that needs to be done. Very brilliant. Everything is there. But what is sitting in the heart? Bhagwan Ram and Sita ji. Nothing else. This is it. It's a very clear, simple charitra. A very, very well-known charitra. This is a guidance for us. This is the problem we don't understand. We think that if I don't internalize, I don't love. That's wrong. If we don't internalize, then there is love. If we internalize, that is not love. It is a distortion. It is ego, ahankar. And then that will cause energy damage, entanglement. It will cause arguments, problems, tensions, fights, everything. Don't internalize anybody. Where in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavatam, in the Ramayana, in any scripture of the world, it says to internalize anybody except Paramatma? Show even one verse. Challenge. Sachin ki open challenge. Ek bhi batao. Kahan likha hai? Gita ji ko dekho. 700 verses. Is there a single place where Sri Krishna says, you bring anything of this sansar into your heart? He says, you bring me into your heart, not anything else. You do your duty with all. I am present in all. But you don't bring anybody inside and contaminate. It's a contaminant. Like, I'll give you a very simple example. Take my own example. Forget about anybody else. Sachin has biological mothers staying in Ahmedabad, right? Just right now. It's a real life situation. So, when I interact with her with love and affection and care, everything, prem se, Devi ka swarup hai, aisa bhav rakhte hai. Then, there's no entanglement. But if I activate my memories are there of so many incidences that have happened in the past. Beautiful things have happened. So many things in everyone's life. I can activate the memories of my mother inside of me, or my father inside of me, my mother and my father inside of me, and I can bind myself to those memories and internalize those memories into my ego. And if I do that, I'm trapped. I'm totally trapped. And this is what happens. We live in this entrapped state. Somebody did this, somebody said this conflict, this thing happened, that thing happened, this thing happened good, this thing happened bad. We are our own individual identity is entrapped, enmeshed with all of these other people. Rather than enmeshment, this is a term in psychology, there needs to be interaction, connection, but not enmeshment. Enmeshment, this is a word, if you haven't heard this word before, you can write it down. E-M-E-S-H-M-E-N-T, enmeshment. Enmeshment means like a mixture inside, deep mixture. What will that do? That will cause suffering. 100% it will cause suffering. Without a doubt it will cause suffering sooner or later. Even in a husband-wife relationship, couples relationship, enmeshment is a problem. Coming together in intimacy. Intimacy, real intimacy is not enmeshment. Real intimacy is non-disturbed, selfless love. But when the ahankar comes into the picture, it wants to grab everything and it changes the whole dynamic. It says you have to meet these criteria. I want these things from you. I want this and I want this and I want this and I want this. And if I don't get all that thing, I'm unhappy and I'm going to make you unhappy also. Isn't it so? I'll make myself unhappy and I'll make you unhappy and so many others along with that. This is the game of the ego. जिसको हम अहंकार कहते हैं. This is why when we talk about Jnana Shakti, I want to introduce another connected word here, Prakāśa Shakti. If you please take notes, हमारी बहुत प्रार्थना है, अंतर से प्रार्थना है, please keep a notebook with you. There's no way anybody's going to remember all these ideas. If you make bullet points, it will come back and it will reinforce and realization will happen. God will make that realization. Bhagwan Krishna, Radhika ji, Bhagwan Shankar, Uma Devi, they will make the realization. वो तो एक ही तत्व है. That is in there. We are doing seva only. But these points to write this down so we can contemplate and do prarthana. Right? So here's another term. Prakāśa Shakti. प्रकाश शक्ति हमारे में है. Of course, हमारा स्वरूप ही प्रकाश है. भगवान स्वामीनारायण कहते हैं मानो चैतन्य रूप तमारू दुख रूप देह तेथी न्यारू तमे आत्मा छोपण नथी देहा. There's an incident that happened in the life of भगवान स्वामीनारायण. उनके जो परमहंस थे, बड़े बड़े परमहंस, they did lot of difficult tapasya. Maharaj put them through all kinds of difficult sadhanas. 114 sadhanas he put them through. Prakaran they were called. They passed all that. But Maharaj said, yes, you can do all this. You're amazing. ठीक है. But beyond all of that you are Prakāsh. आप कौन है? आप दिव्य है. मानो चैतन्य रूप तमारो. Try to understand, try to realize who you are. That you are Chaitanya. I mean, this is Prakāśa Shakti. The whole Gita in terms of the Atma is talking about Prakāśa Shakti. Vedanta, scripture after scripture. Scriptures are many, but हमारा अनुभव क्या है? To open the Prakāśa Shakti, eliminate from our individualized ego everybody except Paramatma. कर सकते हैं? बोलो. किसकी तैयारी है? आ जाओ मैदान में. भगवान की माला लेना. भगवान का जो विग्रह है, काली देवी का विग्रह है, लक्ष्मी देवी का विग्रह है, भगवान शंकर का विग्रह है, विच एवर फॉर्म ऑफ परमात्मा यू वांट, नो प्रॉब्लम. करो. राधिका जी की उपासना कर रहे, आपकी जैसी मर्जी. वो परमात्मा तो एक ही तत्व है. there's only one, there's not two anyway. And have the courage to say, hey Prabhu, thou art mine. You are mine. I want you inside my mind. These other people that are mixed inside, they need to remain inside the chitta, C-H-I-T-T-A, as a storehouse. They need to remain there, and they need to remain there for guidance, for love, for affection, for interaction, but they do not belong inside my psychological identity. Only you belong there and nobody else. Bhagwan Swaminarayan कहते in the Ordana Pado, he says there, he says beautifully, मुझे भी न जान जो रे बीजा माइक सौवाकार प्रीति तोड़ जो रे झूठा जानी कुटुंब परिवार जीव ईश्वर तणो रे माया काल पुरुष प्रधान सौने वश करू रे सौनो प्रेरक हूं भगवान. Very famous. In Swaminarayan Satsang, almost all the devotees know this. There are 4 kirtans that were written, 4 poems that were written by Premanand Swami, and the last 2 were written by Maharaj himself, spoken, and then Premanand Swami put them in the rhymed verses. भगवान और भगवान के जो चरण है, भगवान का जो स्वरूप है, भगवान के जो मंत्र है, भगवान का जो नाम है, भगवान का जो धाम है, भगवान के जो संत है, ये सत्य है. इसको लाना. और जो शक्ति है वो परम सत्य है. That Shakti is Mahashakti. And that Shakti is Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti. That Shakti is Prakāśa Shakti. Prakāsh. Prakāsh means illumination. Aha. Adbhut baat hai. Amazing, amazing. And it will open once we decide. First we have to understand, because most people have not understood. This is why these teachings are necessary, coming from thousands of years back, that do not bring anybody into the ahankar. हमारा जो अहंकार है, मन बुद्धि चित्त अहंकार, that ahankar has a role to develop interactions and affection, and to some extent me and mine, all of that, it has a role. But once it gets beyond that role, it will bring people, places, objects inside, and it will keep playing with them. And once it keeps playing with them, the Jivatma, which is beyond the Ahankar, but the Jivatma is then stuck inside the Ahankar and is trapped in this. And that's what causes birth and death cycle. This is exactly what causes it. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Iha sansare bahudustare. This sansar is what, after all? Sansar is this external world that we see in the Jagrata Avastha. We're internalizing it into the Ahankar. Isko internalization ki jaruri nahi hai. There's interaction without internalization. Interaction with storage in the memory. Memory is going to store, but leave it there. That's not you. That's an experience only. That is there for guidance and for functioning in the 3-dimensional world. That's not who we are. My memories are not me. For example, Sachin has memories of so many family members. My aunt, my uncle, my grandfather, my grandmother, my this person. Maybe 50 people or I don't know how many exactly. They belong where they need to be, inside the chitta. Now I have to change my relationship with them. Internally, externally तो होगा, वो तो automatic हो जाएगा. Internally, I have to change my relationship. First of all, forgive everybody. Everybody, can we do it? Somebody has said this, somebody did this, somebody said this, this happened, that happened. We are holding dvesha, negativity inside, towards those people inside. Bhagwan ki mala lena, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Bhagwan Shankar ko we do the Abhishekam and all that. What is the point of doing all that? So we can eliminate this dvesha from inside ourselves. That is the Trishula Bhagwan Shankar. This understanding has to come. This is called Prakāśa Shakti. This will open Prakāśa Shakti. हाँ, बहुत सुंदर बात है ये. कितनी सुंदर. How beautiful. Our inner space becomes beautiful. Saundarya. Saundarya means beauty opens up when we forgive everyone. Don't hold negative feeling for even one being in this sansar. छोड़ दो इसको. We cannot reach mukta sthiti by holding negativity towards anybody. It has to go. Forgive everyone. Nobody's perfect. Forgive yourself. Forgive others, forgive yourself. Shama. Isko kehte hai kshama. Forgive yourself. We have made a lot of mistakes in life. Don't identify with those mistakes. Forgive. Place some flowers at the feet of Narayana. Bhagwan ke charanon mein pushparpan kijiye and say, hey Prabhu, there's so many deficiencies inside of me. You please, I'm your child. You please forgive. That's all God is looking for. He's simply saying, you come to me, I'll take care of everything. What do you have? You are like a child only. You are a child. And when we realize this, we have made God knows how many mistakes in life. Don't identify with them. Ask for forgiveness, atonement. In the Christian tradition, it is called atonement. It's the same concept. Prayashchit lena. थोड़ा प्रायश्चित है. बड़े बड़े जो संत है और शास्त्रों में से भी मिल सकता है. प्रायश्चित भी you can take it yourself. We'll do 11 malas for some mistakes made. थोड़ा प्रणाम करेंगे. It's the turning over, the eliminating of the identification with deficiency. This is the key point. Do not identify with your own deficiency or with anybody else's deficiency. Be aware of it and eliminate it. Eliminate your own, wish well for others. We cannot eliminate somebody else's deficiency. The only person Sachin can eliminate Sachin's deficiency is Sachin. And that also not by my own ego. It is eliminated by Bhagwan ka bal. Ishta bal. Bhagwan ki nishta. Bhagwan ke sant ki nishta. Unki कृपा से ही ये सब होता है. और कृपा किस पर होती है? जिसको कृपा चाहिए. कृपा is wide open. Grace is wide open. Grace is always flowing all the time. God doesn't discriminate against anybody who wants it. And this is why when we recognize that my own deficiencies, my own problems, my own this entrapment, I have created this. Oh, this is the role of Guru. So we are at the feet of all the great sages. Sachin is just transmitting it here. What is being presented to you here is not something Sachin has made pulled out of the sky. It is a synthesis of hundreds of scriptures and so many teachings from hundreds of sages. It has been synthesized and brought to the world as a seva. That's it. हमारा इसमें कुछ है नहीं. सत्य belongs to Paramatma. सत्य is Paramatma. उनका ही सब है. वो ही है इसमें. And when we realize this, अहम ममत्व छूट जाता है. Totally छूट जाता है. तो क्या रहता है? प्रकाश. दिव्य प्रकाश. That is Shiv. That is Krishna. That is Devi. That is Hanumanji. That is Jesus. That is Guru Nanak. वो प्रकाश है. प्रकाश doesn't mean just the sunlight. Or it is a divine प्रकाश. हाँ, वो दिव्य प्रकाश है. वो दिव्य तत्व है. That is who you are, the Atman, Brahman, Brahma Prakash. Amazing, amazing, absolutely amazing. Ahankar is then going to serve its purpose to function in the world, but it doesn't function anymore in a way that it internalizes the experiences of the world and gets lost inside of them. बहुत clarity होनी चाहिए, because some of these things are very difficult to explain. And if it is even slightly misunderstood, it can cause a lot of deflection. So we don't want to misunderstand. We want to make sure that every single point is absolutely clear. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Consciousness meaning the Atman. We're talking not the psychological consciousness. वो जो consciousness की बात है, सत चित आनंद, सच्चिदानंद, which we all know that word. वो क्या है? वो स्वयं प्रकाश है. That is not ego. Swayam Prakash is self-luminosity of the Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva. How do we reach that Swayam Prakash? When Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti are hanging together, and they can only hang together in the best way when there is no internalization of any deficiency from outside or any kind of pulling and tugging, rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva, from the outside. It doesn't come inside at all. Bilkul nahi. And if it is sitting inside there, have the courage to take a mala, make a diya, stand in or sit in front of the Bhagwan Krishna, pradikshana kijiye, danvat kijiye, and phek dena isko. In Gujarati we say bali devu ane. It is havan. It is called internal havan. Do not place anybody inside the inner space with the ego. Who belongs in the inner space? Paramatma. And when Paramatma is inside the inner space, everybody is in the inner space. And then our interaction with family and friends and everything, it is bhakti. It is seva and bhakti just with ordinary people. Now it is not with ahankar, with mamatva, with dvesh. What did you do for me? You should do this, I should do this, me, you, this, that. ये सब कचरा है, ये सब trash. बाल देना इसको. Permanently बाल देना. And when we do that, Swayam Prakāśa. When we do that, that Swayam Prakāśa comes by Krupa, Guru Krupa, Bhagavad Krupa. If Krupa comes from inside. If we don't want to do it, there's no hurry. Millions of more births are awaiting us. The whole humanity. One who does this now with tremendous power and Shakti and Nishta and clarity of understanding, not because Sachin is saying so, it has to be your own clarity that this is true. It has to light up inside that ye satya baat hai. That this ahankar does not need to internalize anybody from outside. Mera kaun hai? Mera koi nahi hai. Or mere sab, everybody is mine and nobody is mine. The moment I get into this feeling, my mother sitting in Ahmedabad, I keep thinking of her, I miss her so much. This, back and forth, finish. Gone. Sab Shakti ka nash. क्या मिलेगा इसमें से? क्या मिलता है? What do you get? Nothing. Only pain. Pain ही मिलता है. And then, you know what they say, right? Somebody you don't see for a long time, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And then you start staying together. And then you start staying together for a long time. So much familiarity. Oh my God, that absence was better than this. We swing back and forth. It's called love-hate relationship. So-called love. Cannot stay with the person, cannot stay without the person. Humanity is trapped in all this thing. And to get out of that trap, it requires realizing that inside the heart, there is pure, undisturbed prem, flowing without any break. And that's not ego. So in fact, what happens, the situations with family members and others, we are aware of it. We know that is going on. There is affection, care, and there is sadhana. There is the increase of sadhana. If somebody is suffering, somebody is having problems, what do? We shall try to help them. Don't bring the problem inside of you, first of all. Help them, wish well for them, do sadhana, see if there's a way out of it somehow. Do not bring anybody's problem inside. This is what we do. We are having postdoctoral distinctions. PhD degree, isme sabko mil gayi hai. How to bring other people's problem inside of us. Other people, not some distant people around us. Don't bring it inside. Think of it this way. I'll give you a simple example. If a family member, I'm using a family member particularly as an example, but it could be a friend, it could be anybody, is sitting inside an isolation ward inside it because they have some disease at the hospital and nobody's allowed to go inside, because if you go inside you'll get the disease also. Would you go inside there? It's a very simple question. It's very clear. Other than doctors with special suits and masks, nobody's allowed to go inside there for visitation. You have to stand with a distance. You can do your prayers, you can do your whatever you want to do, but you cannot go inside there. If you go inside there, and you're not allowed to go, but if you go inside there without the proper protection, if you breathe that air, you will get the same infection. Would anybody go inside there? I'm asking you, would anybody go inside there? Come on. Absolutely not. Because the person not going inside there, does that mean that I don't love that person inside? There's no love? This is our problem psychologically. We think that we need to bring everything inside of us, all the trash from outside, all the difficulties, and that is love. That is not love. That is our ego. That is our attachment. That is our deficiency. That is our lack of realization. The wife is standing outside and the husband is in the isolation area. And she says, I love him so much, I have to see him, I have to touch him, I have to kiss him, I have to do this. And the person is ill with an infection, you cannot touch him. He says, no, I have to be in physical contact with him. Well, go ahead, try, see what happens. No. And when there are physical diseases, nobody's going to go near that person even. Doesn't matter how much you love them. Then why do we do this psychologically with people? When there are problems outside of all kinds, don't expect anybody to be perfect. Only Narayana is perfect, nobody else. Don't expect the perfection from anybody in this world except Bhagwan Narayan. वो स्वयं परमात्मा है. That's the perfection. Narayana. Nobody else. So don't internalize. On the contrary, find out how to solve the problem. Find out how to use energy in the best way to help the individual. Find out how the development can happen and that deficiency can be reduced so you can actually be in good contact. We don't know this. Humanity is trapped. 8.4 billion people in this world are trapped in this contamination of bringing the external contaminants inside. We don't know how to protect ourselves. This is why there are Kavacha Stotra. There's Durga Kavach, there's Hanuman Kavach, there's Narayan Kavach, there's Krishna Kavach. Every Devata has a Kavach Stotra. Why is this? For this reason. Kitni adbhut baat. See how beautiful it is. And this is called Swayam Prakāśa. When we sit for sadhana, Aim Bij Mantra, Rhim Bij Mantra, Klim Bij Mantra, Bij Mantra ki sadhana is very important. Namah Shivaya Mantra, karo, do more of it. That will break through the ahankar. That is using mantra Śakti to break through this attachment structure. That is a Trishul in the hands of Bhagwan Shankar and Devi also. They both have Trishul in their hand. They break through this attachment structure. And what is opened from inside, that is Prakāśa Śakti, illumination. And in that illumination, there is discriminative intelligence. I'll explain this point carefully in the next 8 minutes that we have left here. This word discriminative that we use in Vedanta, it doesn't mean racial discrimination and that. Not that. It is intelligence, that is viveka buddhi, that separates entanglement and energetic damage. It separates it out from the pure, undisturbed, real, whole, purna prema and jnana. Prem or jnana opens up when the distortions are stopped. That is called discriminative intelligence. It is called viveka buddhi. If you're writing this down, write this down, and we can be in this situation. Jo vivek buddhi nahi hogi manushya sharir mein, will be lost. Guaranteed. The lack of vivek buddhi causes all the damage. This is called discriminative intelligence that guides इच्छा एंड क्रिया. हमारे अंतःकरण में जो इच्छा है, इसका गाइडेंस कहां से? द गाइडेंस हैज टू बी गिवन. We have endless number of desires. We have like animal is one that is still very good. We are something, God knows what. Ichha is going in 1,000 directions. Keep it steady. That discriminative intelligence opens from inside. It opens from inside. That is viveka buddhi. And so it guides. It is a guidance to ichha. What my desires are there. What kind of desires are going to take me in the right direction towards mukti, towards higher realization, towards bhakti, and which kinds of desires, ichha, are going to degrade me in my life and others also. This is called discriminative intelligence. This is called viveka buddhi, that is coming from that Prakāśa Śakti. And once that is there, the kriya, the actions, mental, verbal, physical, they just fall in line beautifully. Amazing. And when this happens, it is the dissolving of avidya. Avidya ka nash, अज्ञान का नाश, अंधकार का नाश. प्रकाश आता है जीवन में, अंधकार निकल जाता है. जीवन में जब प्रकाश आता है, ऐसा दिव्य प्रकाश आता है, भगवान का स्वरूप का प्रकाश आता है, आत्म ज्योति का जो प्रकाश आता है, कितनी the internal life is it's a मंदिर बन जाता है. The मंदिर we are talking about, our antakarana, our mind becomes mandir. भगवान का मंदिर हम बन जाते हैं. Extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. The subtle apparatus of the antakarana is reorganized. That's what we're talking about. It is antakarana, man, buddhi, chet, ahankar. It is reorganized. Things that do not belong in our personal identity are left in memory. They're not destroyed. I have my memories of my father. I have memories of the Father, it's inside. But there is love, affection, care, divinity towards that being, not internalization. Internalization meaning what? He made this mistake, he did this, he said this thing, this. All that rag, dvesh, his deficiencies, even his good qualities, I'm resonating with the good qualities and wishing well for the Jivatma. But if I identify with the deficiency of that person and then start to think about it and I try to link myself and I link myself with the deficiency of the father of this body, I'm finished. मेरा connection भगवान के साथ टूट जाता है. And why? What good will come? Yes, I can cherish his life. Remember the good things he did. Remember the beneficial things, his good qualities. वो quality internalize करना. Good qualities, not the person also. Not the person who has the good qualities. The respect, because the person it's just a mass of chemicals only. That's not the person actually. That is the Atma Tattva. That is the reality. So the qualities that we're manifesting are the good divine qualities, good qualities. Resonate with them, appreciate them. The negative qualities, deficiencies, do not identify. You're aware of it. I know there's deficiency. Unme kya thi? But I don't want to contaminate myself by those deficiencies. It's like the wife knows that the person has this disease inside, he's sitting inside the hospital. But the wife says, I love you so much, so you want to know something? I also, want to have that. What nonsense. Never, under any circumstances, bring inside the antakaran anybody's deficiency. Isko barrier rakhna iske saath. You have to have a barrier. That is called the shield of choiceless awareness, technically, based on Krishnamurti's ideas. It's a kavach. Do not let that come inside and sit inside the identity. It will come in memory. Yes, you're aware of it. Don't identify with it at all. The moment we identify with it, that is where our mind gets lost in it. We must be able to interact with it without internalizing it, and interact with it with this extraordinary viveka buddhi. Vivek buddhi, discriminative intelligence, allows us to see the nature and flow of Prakriti. It becomes a meditation. My own example, I can sit with the mala, Bhagwan ki murti hai ghar mein, bahut sundar baat hai. I can actually do a meditation to remember my father's life with Viveka buddhi. Anand ki prapti ho jayegi. But if I'm remembering, I miss him, this is gone, he did this happened, how much money he left somebody, this, that. Finish. Drown into mud. Mud mein doob gaye. quicksand. And that Vivek Buddhi is a lotus that blossoms in the mud. Amazing. ये भगवान की दया. ऐसा मनन चिंतन ये हम we can do together. ये भगवान कृष्ण की परम कृपा से होता है. It just cannot happen even. And that happens only by his. Sachin is not saying anything to anybody. These truths are being expressed by the divine will, not by my will. Satya is not my opinion. Srimad Bhagavad is so clear. Satyam param dhimahi. That is the reality. And once we have grabbed hold of the Gnan Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Prakāśa Shakti, we have are holding on to that and not allowing contaminants to resonate with us. My God, the evolution towards Paramatma takes a rocket speed का evolution होता है. करके देखना. Let's stop here. Om Vakratunde Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvadom Ganganapade Namaha Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaye Viche Swaha Durga Durga Rakshani Tata Swaha Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Samsita Mahalakshmi Rupena Samsita Mahasaraswati Rupena Samsita Mahakali Rupena Samsita Namaste Say Namaste Say Namaste Say Namo Nama Om Rim Swaha Shri Radha Krishnar Pranamastu.